What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Hub. I am Kirill. This is Michael. I'm happy to have my co-host back and ready to rock this week. So here we go. Let's get it started.
Let's. All right, so we're gonna kick it off. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna see how this goes. Jackie's out of town, and I am babysitting this little stinker.
Hey,
Uh, so
Roberto.
I got two dogs in here. I still don't have blinds for the window, so if anyone walks by, it's free game. So
Looks like you got a lot of boxes on the table, man. You still unpacking or what's going on?
no, that's my smart stuff. Doorbells and locks and a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I didn't clean up for it, but that's okay. We'll be fine. So yeah, let's jump in like Crow's talking about. Good to be back. Started off with around the hive. So news and notes. There are trades going on in both real life NFL and our fantasy league. Probably this has got to be the last week has to be the most amount of trades that we've had in this season.
How many transactions do you think we had just with trades this season?
I don't know. I started writing
Gotta
down
be 30, man.
some of the trades that have happened in this last week, and I remembered a couple, and there were a lot more than I even thought there were.
What are
So
your thoughts on them? What's your favorite trade? What's
we'll,
your least favorite trade?
we'll get into that in a sec, but let's just talk about some of the real life ones quick here. Amari Cooper traded to the Cowboys. We'll see what shakes out there. It's
Nothing's
interesting
gonna
to say
happen.
at least. Cowboys have needed a stud wide receiver, and now they have someone who, at least talent-wise, is meets that bill. He's the most talented wide receiver since Dez. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Dak, and it's probably good timing for him to get over there too, coming over on the bye. So he has a week to try and prep and get ready. Most guys who get traded right away don't play right away, so it should be interesting to see what happens with him towards the back half of the season.
Dude, he was the number one guy in Oakland and he couldn't do anything.
Correct.
And Carr is a better quarterback than Dak, but who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe he needed a fresh start.
And they have a better run game. And you know what? I'll tell you one thing. I think Dallas has the better coach. John Gruden just seems to be out of touch.
I
Uh,
think Dallas coach sucks.
sure, but Gruden might be one of the top five worst coaches in the NFL right now, or at
Well, we're
least
saying it right now, but he could be a genius.
I don't know, man. Right now, he's done nothing that reflects genius. The best thing he did was Monday Night Football commentating. But all right, anyways, we've talked enough about Cooper. We'll see what happens with him. There's still no Le'Veon Bell back yet. That's probably not that.
Oh, y'all, he's smoking, bro. I'm trying
I,
to tell you guys.
I'd like to stop talking about Le'Veon Bell. I just don't think he's going to come back anymore. I think he's
We
just.
can't stop talking about him. He's a hot commodity.
No, I could stop talking about him. It'd be just fun with it.
We'll never
Look
stop.
at this. Watch. We're done. Damon
So,
Harris.
guys, Le'Veon Bell is not coming back this week.
I think one trade that's a little interesting is Snacks. Damon Harrison was traded from the Giants to the Lions. Now I know we don't talk very much about defense in this,
That's
but
a great trade.
he's a beast, defensive tackle,
Top
and
three.
that really bulks up the Detroit Lions defensive line. I think if you have running backs going against the Lions, it's a tougher matchup now than it would have been before, and that kind of helps to solidify that defense. Lions trying to make a push for the playoffs.
They already have a good defense.
I know. So that's some of the real life NFL trades, and we got the deadline. I think it comes up next week in the NFL. So we'll see what else, if anything else shakes out. But then you have the trades that happened in our league, and basically over the last week, because Krill came on and talked about the ones last week, so we won't talk about those again. But from this week, from then until now, it's basically been Pat Central. If you look at the trades, here I'm going to read the trades that have happened. Bell and Connor and Ridley for Chris Carson and Julio Jones. That's Pat Device. Ingram for Boyd. That's Pat again. Kenyon Drake for AP. That's Pat again.
Dude. Whoa, 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 hey. Bro, I can't hear you. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. Not sure what's going on. Nope, can't hear you.
Still can't hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. I might need to invest in the microphone next week. This might keep going out, which would be annoying. But, like I was saying, Pat's made a ton of trades here lately. What was the last one that I that you heard when I was going through them? Do you remember?
It was the
Drake for AP?
Connor one, yeah. That's the last
Okay,
one.
Bell, Connor, and Ridley for Chris Carson and Julio Jones. Ingram for Boyd. Drake for AP. Chris Carson for Demarius Thomas. Willie Snead for Kyle Rudolph. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades he's made in the last week.
It's crazy.
So essentially, he's taken Connor Bell, Calvin Ridley, Mark Ingram, and Kyle Rudolph, and Kenyon Drake, and traded that into Adrian Peterson, Demarius Thomas, Julio Jones, Tyler Boyd. It's interesting.
It is.
We'll see what happens. I don't know if I love it. I think I'd rather stick with some of those running backs, but he's playing the matchup game. And then one other trade that did happen this week that didn't involve Pat was Andy Dalton for Hogan, kind of an under-the-radar trade, but it helps to bulk up and give Spitz some options at quarterback. So again,
that trade don't matter at all, bro.
that team just keeps getting better.
Trash for trash.
Andy Dalton is not trash.
Okay.
Well, I don't think he is, but
Trade for him.
I have him on my other league, but I'm in last place in that league, so whatever. And then if you look at pickups, there's been 2 bigger pickups. It's been Kenyon Barner for $18. That's also to Pat, the guy who's making a lot of moves. And then Jacksonville's defense for $25. There were no other bids. None. But 25 got it, so
That's a lot.
good job.
Just a heads up. Andy Dalton only had 2 weeks over 20 points and only 3, including those 20-point games, over 15. He's at 7, 12, 14. I don't think he's that great.
Yeah. Well, neither was Hogan.
Hogan's shit.
It's interesting that Spitzer gets trash talk to him for picking up the Ravens defense for $4, but 25 for a worse defense.
Who was talking to Spitzer?
Happy. Well, it's just the way that he made those pickups because he picked up the Titans and then back to back.
I've been saying this for weeks. Spitzer's he's the golden horse, the golden goose. That's what he is.
I think he currently has the best team.
Nah.
We'll see. I think right now he's not taking standings or records into it, just roster. I think he's got the best roster.
He's got to make the playoffs, and then he's going to make a run for it.
He will make the playoffs. So, yeah, that's kind of the recent news. Krill, do you want to talk about standings or anything else, or should we just get into the good and the bad?
Well, I'm just going to go super quick because some people may not look at this. Standings. There's 3 teams at 6-1. Erica, Travis, then me. I'm going in that order because points. So I guess I'm in 3rd seed. Then it's Justin and Mike at 5-2, and then we have a bunch of people at 3 and 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people fighting for the 6th spot in 3 and 4.
It's crazy.
It is Pat. It is Don. It is the Golden Goose, Spitzer himself. It's Hoppy the Hopster, and it's David. And then obviously at the bottom you got 1 and 5 and 1, 1 and 5 and 1. That's Jeremy and Vice, and then Jackie 1 and 6. So. Probably those teams will be at the toilet bowl, but you never know what's going to happen.
Should we jump into our good and bad? You want to do this? You want to make a prediction as far as who you think will get the 6th seed?
Yeah,
or do we both agree it's going to be Spitzer?
It's definitely going to be Spitzer.
Yeah. So he's
with the recent trade, it could be Donley as well. But I'm going to predict this. One of the top 5 teams right now will fall off. Donley and Spitzer will both make the playoffs.
But what team's falling off? Is it me or is it Justin? Because I don't think it's Erica. God knows it won't be Travis because everything he does touches and turns to gold. And you're not going to pick yourself. So do I fall apart or does Justin?
It's either going to be me, you, or Justin.
Team Colts or Team Saints? Who you like more?
It's either going to be me, you, or Justin, man. We're going to go down hot.
Well,
actually, I'm going to pick you or Justin because I'm at 6-1. I have 1 more win.
I know
I'm literally going to have to go 0-6.
Yeah. All right. So let's go into what we have for the good and the bad players for this week. We'll start it off with quarterback. You got a clever name that you want to do for this one, Krill?
You keep talking and I'll figure it out.
All right. I literally just wrote good and bad because I figured it was going to change to something. So.
Oh, I don't know. You had a lot. I thought it was going to be another candy episode. So I was like, hey, what have we got for candy? I don't know.
No, I said cotton candy every time I said candy corn anyways, so we won't do that. I got it.
We'll just start it off.
White sauce and red sauce. White sauce is good. Red sauce is bad. Like in pasta.
Okay. Sure.
Was going to be. So
my
my
God.
white sauce, this is not a racist thing, by the way.
Jesus.
My white sauce quarterback is Jared Goff. Jared Goff plays for the high-powered Rams offense, obviously, with Sean McVay. And he gets to play Green Bay. He's at home. It should be a high-scoring game. And whether it's Gurley catching it or he's just going to put up a ton of points. I love Goff this week and think he's a great start. Can't believe he was dropped by David to start the season, and then David's been dealing with Blake Bortles. So that's
David, you suck.
Yeah, that's my white sauce quarterback. Who's your white sauce quarterback?
My white sauce with mushrooms quarterback is going to be Andrew Luck versus Oakland. He's been hot. You will know this. I think in 3 games, last 2 games, he's got 11 touchdowns. 4-3-4. Fuck it. We're saying it. Doesn't matter. If you guys want to check, I don't care. He's going to say it. He's going to kill it. Oakland, they don't know what's going on. The players are questioning the coaching. No one's going to have the heart to fight. So, Luck's going to throw another 4 touchdowns. Easy as fuck.
Yeah. My red sauce quarterback this week is Cam Newton. He gets to play Baltimore at home. I think Baltimore has the best defense in the NFL. And last week, Cam Newton, the Eagles aren't a good pass defense. And he had an awful week last week until it was saved in the very last 5 minutes of the game. So, I mean, he barely saved his week last week. This week, I don't think he'll be able to do that against Baltimore. I mean, yeah, he's always a good option. I'm not saying bench him, but you need to temper your expectations for what he'll give you this week against a good defense.
I'm going to go a little quicker on my picks because we don't have that much time. But my red sauce quarterback is going to be Baker versus the Steelers. I just think Steelers pressure QBs a lot. I really like Watt. Cameron Hayward on the defense. Baker has looked kind of shaky last couple games, especially against the Bucks. I was like, what the fuck? I thought he was going to destroy them. Steelers had 2 weeks to prepare. I think he's going to have a bad game.
Yeah, makes sense. White sauce running back is Marlon Mack. Mack attack, baby. He's back. And he's ready to just destroy the Raiders. Raiders just suck. They're not good. John Gruden's not good. They're trading away all their players. Build for the future. They have 3 first-round picks. I mean,
what defense is worse, Oakland or Arizona?
Arizona. Against the run, Arizona is still the worst. But Marlon Mack plays for the Colts. It's a good offense. They keep moving the ball, and I think he'll be able to score 1 or 2 more times again this week. I like his matchup. So,
my white sauce running back is going to surprise some of you, but to some close people, it will not surprise you. My white sauce running back is Kenyon Drake, baby. If you don't know, now you know. And the reason is, dude, they have nobody. All their receivers are hurt. Gore's banged up. The coach came out and said, hey, we have capable players that could fill into the wide receiver role. What does that mean? That means Drake is going to line up in the slot. He's going to catch a bunch of passes. I predict at least 7 catches today. He's going total together combined for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's going to smash my wife right in the mouth.
Okay. Doubt it, but okay. Let's see what happens. My red sauce quarterback is Isaiah Crowell. I think people have some optimism about him after Bilal Powell was hurt. I'm not sure.
That dog is going crazy.
I'm not sure if that will make Isaiah Crowell any better. Because I think they'll just give those touches to other less confident guys who won't move the ball and he'll have less red zone. And he's just so inconsistent. It's tough to bank on him. I guess he should be able to get some carries, at least 10, but I don't.
Hold on a second.
And get this. Beyond that, he plays Chicago, which is the 3rd best defense against running backs this year. Pass.
This is your white sauce.
This is my red sauce.
You said white.
Red.
Oh my God! I thought I was like, this guy's saying 10 carries. I was like, that's nothing.
No,
Chicago.
no.
I was like,
red sauce.
Red. Okay.
No Crow. I will not beat him.
Okay, yeah, he sucks. Mine is pretty obvious. It's Christian McCaffrey. Baltimore, they're good at stopping the run. He's going to have a bunch of catches. But I mean, for fantasy purposes, let's say he's got 8 catches, 50 yards, 10 points, whatever. Not a big deal. He's not going to score in them running the ball.
Just watching him on my team week after week as he scores less and less points. It's a good time. All right, my white sauce, white, not red, white.
Got it.
Sauce.
Okay.
Wide receiver this week is the recently traded Tyler Boyd. Ooh, drama. And yeah, I'm gonna mention the fact that Andy Dalton's not playing in primetime. I think he'll have a good game.
Oh my God, that doesn't matter.
It matters to Dalton. In primetime, he sucks. When the lights are off and the sunlight's out, he's a lot better. So, and also, he's playing a team that is the second worst against wide receivers. So, light him up. AJ Green should be good too. He's an obvious start, but I like Tyler Boyd after a slow week to bounce back and have a big game. So, that's
my white sauce wide receiver. I thought about this one for a while, and I'm gonna go with Michael Thomas. Wow, he's playing the Vikings. Xavier Rhodes. I think Xavier Rhodes is super banged up. I think Trey Waynes is not a good corner. Not only that he's not a good corner, Michael Thomas is gonna eat that ass up. He's going to destroy. He's gonna destroy the Vikings. He's easily gonna go for 100 yards. I think the Vikings is gonna hold Kamara and Ingram, but I think Thomas they will not have an answer for.
Well, we shall see. All right, my red sauce quarterback, or excuse me.
Hi, Ruby! See your ears?
This week.
Hi, Ruby! Hey! Whoa, 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 whoa! He's like, what the hell is that?
Red sauce quarterback is going to be Alshon Jeffrey.
Quarterback or wide receiver? Your choice.
Wide receiver. Sorry, red sauce wide receiver, Alshon Jeffrey. He gets to play in Jacksonville, and I know what everyone's thinking is, oh, Jacksonville, their defense hasn't been that good lately. Well, there's one defense against wide receivers in the NFL. So I don't think you really want to start Alshon this week.
What'd you say? They're what?
Ramsey, and that guy might actually be good for once. So.
Okay. My red sauce wide receiver is going to be Jarvis versus the Steelers. You're like, oh, my God, the Steelers secondary is trash. Well, Hilton and Hayden are back. They are the top corners for the Steelers. I think they're going to D him up.
I honestly don't even know who Hilton is.
He's their best corner, and then
the only Hilton I know is Ty. So
Hilton that might be his brother, to be honest with you, or cousin or some shit.
We'll see. All right, my white sauce tight end is David Njoku. He's just underrated, and he's been good since your boy Baker's been there. So.
Would you say he's the top 3 tight end in the league right now?
No.
Fantasy?
No.
You heard it here, boys. He is. Come trade.
No. He's top 10. But
top 5 for sure.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I'll take my upside.
Ertz and Kelsey. I'll take Ertz, Kelsey, Kittle, and then it could be Njoku. Oh, Ebron, then Njoku. There's your top 5. Top of my head. I don't have to think about it. Easy.
Okay.
Next. My white sauce is going to be Kittle versus Arizona. Arizona's trash, and Kittle is obviously one of their top weapons. Beretta's banged up. So, who else are going to throw to? Goodwin, I guess, who's going to probably get his 8th concussion, and Kittle. And Arizona's defense is like the worst in the league by far.
Yeah. And Steelers are 3rd worst against tight ends for Njoku, so it'll be good. Kyle Rudolph is my red sauce quarterback.
Dude, he's been trash this year. Is he
not? Lately. And the Saints are top 5 against the tight end position. Maybe they just haven't played anybody who's good, but apparently they're decent at that. So, or more than decent, they're actually good. So I will pass on.
Oh my God, dude! Listen to his points quick: 7, 10, 13, 8, 6, 5, 2. Holy shit!
Started off all right, and then he just fell apart.
Damn, 8, 6, 5, 2.
The good news is it won't take much to outperform his last week performance of 2 points, though. So
right. My red sauce tight end is going to be Zach Ertz versus Jacksonville. Like you said, they're good at covering receiver. I actually think they have good linebackers to cover the tight end. They know that Ertz is a top weapon. So I think what the Eagles are going to do is they're going to try running the ball because they cannot stop the run.
I thought about putting Hurts in there, but he's just too talented to put in that list.
Well,
But
I did.
Then
Let's
get it.
matchups.
Yep, Sharks and Guppies of the week. So matchup number 1
Guppy.
is me versus Nick. I have me winning. It's not as bizarre as you make it out to be. I have predicted myself to win several times this year. Just not when I played Erica and I lost, and not the first 2 weeks either when I won. So, yeah. But this week, I think I will get the W. My Colts, my team is basically the Colts team, and they play Oakland, and Oakland sucks. So, yeah, it's a tougher matchup for Christian McCaffrey, but it's a good matchup for my boy Juju. So, well, yeah, Jewy. Check out the nicknames. I nicknamed him Jewy. I nicknamed all my players.
You talking about him like you slept with him or something.
Well, and then Nick's team, he's got some good matchups like Jameis Winston and David Johnson and Allen Robinson.
Sucks.
But he's also fighting some injury issues, and I don't know. He just seems to be a little unlucky right now. I don't know who I'm going to do at tight end, if it'll be Gronk or Benjamin Watson. We'll have to monitor that situation. But, yeah, I am going to give myself the win in that one. Bro, what do you got?
The Shark in this situation, and it is going to be a hungry one. It's going to be Michael. Gotcha. I just think Mike has a lot more. Well, you're Mike. You have a lot more firepower. David Johnson's not the same. Breida, is he hurt? Is he not? Probably hurt. You can't expect anything for him. Jeffrey is a bad matchup. Jordan Reed hasn't done anything. We talked about today. His first, he had a touchdown week 1. After that, he's literally done absolutely nothing. Robinson had 2 fantasy points last week. He's still kind of banged up. You're going to win. Better matchups, more firepower, Luck's on fire. Next question.
Next up is Spitzer versus Jeremy. If you haven't noticed from the podcast, we both like Spitzer's team. I'm predicting Spitzer to win. I think his team might be one of the best ones in the league, and they've caught fire. And I also like his trade for Andy Dalton this week. I know you said Andy Dalton's a nobody, a loser, but
no, Andy Dalton is a rosterable quarterback. I have nothing against him.
Yeah, and he's a good against the right matchups. I think it's a good matchup for him. I think that trade helped his lineup and gives him flexibility down the road.
I mean, it's not like he was struggling. He had Stafford.
But when Stafford plays tougher teams, then he's got some switched out. I don't know.
Besides week 1, Stafford's been killing it.
Yeah. Jeremy's team is just
too hurt.
He swung and missed at running back this year, and it's just getting worse. He should have kept the carry on, but that guy got traded. But it almost looks like, based on some of the roster moves he's doing, he's playing and positioning more for the toilet bowl, because he picked up Donta Foreman, who's probably not going to be ready for maybe a month. So, it could be something that comes together by the time of that, but right now it's kind of tough. We'll see what happens with Larry Fitzgerald, who's got a new offensive coordinator now. Maybe it's an increase and they're playing San Francisco. I don't hate that start, but he's had bad luck with injuries. Kind of like LaShawn McCoy, guys playing and then not making it to the game. So I'm taking Spitzer.
I'm going to take Spitzer to win as well. Spitzer's running backs are good, and all of Jeremy's running backs are hurt. We don't know if LaShawn or Thompson are going to play. I mean, that's pretty easy right there. And then Fitzgerald, last time he played San Francisco, he had 4 points. Weeks 2 through 5 are 4, 1, 4, 4, 6. So I don't know if he's going to do much. We'll see. Spitzer just has more star power, firepower, and healthier running backs. So,
yeah. Next up, I got David versus Vice. I think this is a really interesting matchup, and it's a big one as they battle for. Well, Vice has got a bad record. He's got a good team, but a bad record. He needs to start win. He just needs to win out. So I think this is going to be close, and we may see some changes as far as who gets started when you have guys like Moncrief and Jakeem Grant and those kind of dudes in the starting lineup. Who knows if those guys will actually be starting when all is said and done.
And you can't. The thing about these two guys, they're in the top 4 in trading. You do not know. There's a lot of time left for these guys to make a couple moves, and their lineup could look a lot different.
Yep, I agree. As it sits right now, I give the slight edge to Vice. I just like his team more. Connor, Antonio Brown, Kittle, Kirk Cousins. I think those guys will all have good games. On David, he's got Todd Gurley, who should be big. But Flacco against Carolina, Landry's been kind of bad lately. Crabtree's not that great against and in Carolina. Kerryon Johnson plays Seattle. Moncrief, I don't know. I'm not very excited about this. I think he might wish he has Barkley and Thielen instead of Gurley this week, but who knows? I'll take Vice.
I'm gonna pick David to win, and simply because Grant, the Miami wide receiver he's got starting, I don't know much about him. He might just literally do nothing. And Godwin for Tampa Bay, he's playing Cincinnati at Cincinnati. He's really like a fourth, fifth option on the team. I think Moncrief is better. He's playing Philly. They've been looking to him. So just looking at stuff like that, and I would rather take Gurley and Kerryon over Alex Collins and Connor. Cousins is a good matchup versus New Orleans. I don't know. And then I don't know why I feel this way.
I think it'd be close.
This is one of the closest games, but I'm picking David to win. It's going to be within 5 points.
Yeah, should be close.
The matchup.
We didn't have too many close games last week, I don't think, so this one should be a good one. Next one is another one that I think will actually be pretty close. This is Hoppy versus Pat. These two teams, if you look at them, man, they drafted some star power, and then they just said, fuck stars, and just got rid of them and just started trading them left and right. And now it's down to, it's just interesting. Pat's gone with the matchup approach where he's going with matchups over studs. We'll see how that pays out. I mean, it may work, but I think each week your roster talent goes like this, and it's tougher to play the matchups each week. But we'll see. Hoppy is all boom or bust with his guys like Fuller, Deshaun Jackson, Aaron Jones, committee dudes. So I don't know. I'm going to go with Pat, barely. I think AP, Boyd, and Howard should have good weeks. So we'll see. But anyone could win this matchup, and it's another one that's important for the playoff race.
I'm also going to go with Pat. I just think he's got better matchups. Barner, if he actually plays, I mean, that's a pretty good fill-in. The Patriots always have liked to use their running backs. You're looking at Adrian Peterson, back-to-back games with 90-plus yards, playing the Giants. As you mentioned earlier, Snacks is gone. Mm-hmm. You could easily run in the Giants, and now you just probably run even easier. And then, obviously, O.J. Howard, Gabriel. Gabriel is also a really great pick if Robinson is going to be limited in snap count. So I'm just going to pick Pat. Seems like it's a lot easier. Aaron Jones and Buck Allen are just not comparable to other guys that Pat has.
Yeah. Next matchup is the matchup of the week. It's the battle of the families. It's the Lavrentiev showdown. Winner gets to take care of Nico for the next week. I don't know. It's Krill versus Erica. What are you guys both? 6-1?
Yep.
Yeah. And Erica, who's the top point scorer and has arguably had the best team, is, if you look at Sleeper, the underdog. I am going to be picking Kirill to win this game, but honestly, it might come down to whichever wide receiver has the better Sunday night game, Diggs versus Thielen, which would be kind of exciting if that's what it comes down to. Erica is out her boy Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler, who have been scoring her lots of steady points, so that makes it tougher. I don't love TJ Yeldon. He's banged up, and Jacksonville's looked abysmal. Latavius Murray against the Saints, not that excited. You need Sanders to keep catching fire. Burton, he's been inconsistent. Funch is a tough matchup. I mean, I think you got to go with Kirill this week. But we'll see. He's got some questionable guys too. Jalen Richard, we'll see what he does. Kenyon Drake is the definition of questionable. Colonel Mustard is no longer in his lineup.
You never know what will happen, who will come in the lineup, who will come out.
You never know. Right now he's going Mitch Trubisky over Ben Roethlisberger, which I would not do. But
doesn't matter.
We'll see.
You never know what's going to happen with this lineup. I might change it every minute. I have no idea. I'm going to win this one. This will not be close. This will be the easiest win of the year for me. Got a bunch of scrubs.
Is Eric listening to the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's probably sleeping right now, so probably won't listen live like right now. But got a bunch of scrubs at running back. Latavius Murray backup. Yeldon backup. Funches, I guess, is finally starting. You got my boys, Kenyon Drake, Jalen Richard, who everybody's sleeping on, about to drop 20 fantasy points. I think my team is going to go off. I'm putting up at least 120. Probably put up 91 points. She's going to be pretty sad about it. I don't know. That's pretty much it, man. If I put in Mustard, he'll put up a bunch of points against Arizona. Arizona's trash. I'm winning by 30, boys.
Okay. Next matchup is Jackie versus Donley. Why don't you talk about him when I go Corral the Fox?
All right. So Jackie versus Donley. I think Donley is going to win. I just honestly feel bad for Jackie. She's been hit with a lot of injuries. The cool thing about it that helps her is that she's getting so Galladay's back. Obviously, no bye weeks. Ingram seems like he's healthy. He was playing last week. I just don't think Crowell, Watkins, Carson, or Mayfield are going to do anything. I think Donley made a great trade trading for Ingram because Sony Michel was hurt. Now he's got one of the best running back cores with Ingram, Zeke, Sony Michel. Lamar Miller is not that good. So, I just think Donley's going to win this one.
I was just about to take Jackie to win, and then I picked up this little one, and she peed on my floor. So I've changed my pick to Donley. No, in all honesty, I was always picking Donley to win, but the part where she just peed on the floor is real. So I have to clean it up as soon as this podcast is done. So I'm taking Donley to win. It's a tough matchup. These teams it could be close. Donley has had the more proven players, and Jackie's been surrounded by a ton of bad luck. So it's tough when some teams are headed in a negative direction, it's tough to shake it, but we'll see if she's able to do that. Donley doesn't have an easy road. Newton, Ingram, those guys got tough matchups, but Jackie has some really inconsistent people with Isaiah Crowell. Evan Ingram's not been good this year. He's disappointed. And Sammy Watkins, you just don't know what you're going to get from him. So
I think Sammy Watkins is cuttable.
He's not cuttable. He's better than that. He'd be picked up right away if he's a free agent. But
actually, his week 2 and 3 were pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be tough. We'll see if she can pull up and get the win. But right now, I'd take Donley. And then last matchup is Justin versus Travis. If you don't know, now you do. Travis wins every week, and it doesn't matter what any of us have to say about it.
True. So. I picked Travis as well. Can't pick against him. He's a winner. The computer thinks he's a winner. 78%, 22. That's probably because Justin actually does not have a quarterback.
James White is literally the only running back with a pulse left on that team who started the season. Jordy, his competition has been traded away.
Michael.
Geronimo Allison, guys are dropping like flies around him. So you just don't fuck with Travis.
Mike. Justin doesn't have a quarterback.
I know he doesn't. That's the last note that I have on here. Is I said Justin doesn't have a quarterback for this week.
I mean, who is he going to drop?
Last week he didn't have a tight end and he traded for one. So I'm wondering if he's going to try and do the same thing this week. And
there's no one. Who do you drop? Looking at you can't drop anybody. You just paid 20. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess
you know who you drop?
Houston defense.
No, because he's starting them. I think. You know who you drop? You know who you drop is the $25 Jacksonville defense you just picked up.
Oh my God, no! You just spent all that money. You're not dropping them.
You have to.
No.
You're gonna start no quarterback.
No.
Or you just take your loss. A loss is a loss, and you just deal with that against Travis. So.
Damn, maybe two in a row for Justin. That's. I don't know, man. He invested in the Saints team. That's a good team, but Freeman losing him did not help. He needs one more decent running back. So.
Rupert, what else? Anything you want to say?
Woo! What else do you want to cover? Anything else? Anything odd, weird?
No.
Isn't next week? Oh, trade deadline. Did we figure that out?
I think it says week 10. It said somewhere in the league settings, but
okay. We'll take a look. We'll make an alert in the chat. Otherwise, we want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Like I said, me and Mike take a long time to prepare for this. We previously beforehand went over the hot and cold. Players that we have for the week to make sure we don't have the same ones to give you guys as much as possible. So thanks, Mike, for being back. Well, thank you guys. Good luck to everybody. What else? Anything else, Mike?
No, it's time for me to go clean up the pee on my floor. So.
All right. And Luna's taking a shit right now. Good luck. See ya.
All right. Bye, guys.